You guys know the story of Tarzan, right? So Tarzan, remember that story? Like Tarzan, something happened to Tarzan's parents. Nobody really knows. It's like this big secret. The theory right now is that Tarzan is the child of the parents of the princess in Frozen. And when they got shipwrecked, they had Tarzan. Seriously, it's out there. Google it. Like, it's a thing right now, right? So somehow Tarzan wound up in the jungle, right? His parents got wiped out somehow, right? Depends on which version of Tarzan you watch. He got wiped out. And Tarzan was raised by what? The apes, right? So Tarzan was raised by the apes. So I dressed up as Tarzan last Halloween. This is my costume I had on. Is it yet? I know the loincloth's funny, isn't it? But I wore that. And if I rip my shirt off right now, that's what you see. Because I CrossFit. I CrossFit and I eat paleo. And I go to CrossFit once a week. And that's the result. I don't even work out. I just go. Right? And that it happens by osmosis. So anyways, so Tarzan, right? So Tarzan is in the jungle and he's being raised by apes. Okay, now catch this. The apes raising Tarzan are not jerks. They're just apes. Right? The apes don't set out to de-civilize Tarzan. They're not like, we're anti-human. They're not that at all. They're just apes. Like they do what they do. They're not jerks. They're not anti-human. They have some great ape qualities, I guess, right? So they have good personalities, those kind of, right? So they pick each other's fleas. Like, so they have these ape qualities, but they're apes. They are by nature apes. Tarzan is not. So the apes do things. They run on their knuckles and they kill each other over a woman. So in some ways they're human, right? So they do that. They eat raw meat. They throw their poo at each other. Like they're apes. That's what they do, okay? Tarzan is raised by the apes, so he acts like an ape. He acts like an ape until someone arrives in his life who brings truth and correction to who he actually is. And her name is what? Jane. So Tarzan meets Jane, right? That's the way that it works. That's my wife, Heidi. She is not Photoshopped. She actually looks like that, which is why you should follow Jesus, gentlemen. I'm just saying that's the way that works, right? How do dopey guys marry Heidi? Jesus. Okay, so Jane meets Tarzan, and what does Jane say? Jane says to Tarzan, hey, you're not an ape. And Tarzan's like, what? Right? He's shocked because he's raised by ape. He lives with apes. He lives in a culture of apes. She's like, you're not an ape. You're supposed to be something different. So I'm going to bring instruction and correction into your life to help you be aware that you're supposed to be something different. You're supposed to eat with these utensils, not like your hands off the jungle floor. What? Right? You're supposed to put clothes on. What? Right? I'm Tarzan. I'm Lord of the Jungle. She's like, right, take a shower. Right? Because you were not created for this. You just exist in it. You were created for a different life. Let me help you see that life. Right? Now, drop the metaphor. Don't spiritualize the metaphor. Right? You got it. This is why God tells us to do stuff. That's why he tells us to do stuff. Because he looks and says, you'll never figure this out on your own. There's nothing in you or surrounding you that will fire these light bulbs off. So I'm going to come in from the outside and I'm going to give you commandments. I'm going to give you direction. I'm going to give you what's called the law, we're going to look at in a minute. And what that's going to do is it's going to cause you to be aware that you're not supposed to live in the jungle. And it's going to cause you to be aware of how to do things that don't come naturally to you. So what the law does is the law teaches us to connect with God and to live with each other. That's what the law does. It teaches us to connect with God and live with each other. It teaches us what was instinctual before the fall, but now we need like instructions about it, because that doesn't make sense. Nobody knows not to lie until their mom says, don't lie.